What's going on, everyone? It's Marco Hanna, and this is the HTC One M9, and this is a video dedicated to the camera of the HTC One M9. It's because, well, technically on paper, if you look at the HTC One M8 with a 4 ultra-pixel megapixel camera sensor, and you compare this guy with a 20 megapixel sensor, we are probably talking about one of the biggest jumps in megapixels from one generation to the next generation. But has it worked? Is this camera any good? Well, this is the video to find that out. So welcome to the review of the HTC One M9 camera. So when we're talking about megapixels, 20 megapixels is actually a pretty large number. The only real comparison is you're looking at Sony cameras, the 20.7 megapixel sensors found on their Z3. But other than that, Samsung's still at 16 megapixels, and a lot of people aren't really at that 20 mark, other than Nokia with a 43 megapixel PureView 1020 with their Lumia 1020, but that's really a whole different class and a league of its own, basically. So the HTC One M9 is really in the same megapixel range as Sony and their Sony Xperia Z3. Now, in terms of picture quality, has it really changed from the last generation? Well, the HTC One M8 did really well in low light photos, but it had very little detail and it just didn't look very good, and it lacked 4K video. The HTC One M9, well, we're talking about a 20 megapixel resolution photo, which means a lot of detail in terms of pixels. For example, here's a photo that was just taken out in broad daylight, pretty clear day, really beautiful day as well. And the photo looks fine. There are a few artifacts, but if you start zooming in into the details of the photo, you start picking up things like moire, a little bit of artifacts on the photo itself, and it's not the best photo. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can take a better photo on, say, an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy S6, or really any other generation device, even like the LG G3 or even the LG G2 all had better cameras in terms of how the image looks. Now, the photos themselves look great on the HTC One M9. If you upload it to like Instagram or any of the social networks that really don't display full resolution photos, then it does look rather good. But if you blow it up on your computer and you see the full raw size of the image, you are looking at something that doesn't look 100% great. Now, when you switch gears into low light photography, we are looking at probably one of the worst performing cameras that I've used in quite a long time. The thing is, with 20 megapixels, we're talking about a lot of detail, and also the ultra pixels are bigger than the megapixels found on the 20 megapixel sensor on the HTC One M9. So we're looking at less light coming into the sensor, so we're talking about noise. With more megapixels come more noise, and there's tons of noise found in the ultra low light photos. They're not that bad, but they're also not the greatest. I mean, again, the iPhone could probably do better, the Samsung Galaxy S5 and S6 can do better, the Note 4 can do better. So I'm pretty much disappointed with low light in general with the HTC One M9. Now, 4K video is actually in addition to the HTC One M9 because it didn't have it last year. This year, 4K video is pretty darn terrible. Now, before I get into this, I want to say I'm sorry to HTC, but I have to be honest here, guys. The 4K video has moire everywhere. There's tons of artifacts. It has no OIS, and every other phone right now has OIS, including the iPhone 6 Plus. Now, the iPhone 6, but that's regardless because it doesn't have 4K video. But in terms of all the other Android OEM devices, S6 has OIS, Note 4 has OIS, LG G3 has OIS, and all of their 4K video looks tons better than the HTC One M9. There's just tons of artifacts, tons of weird things, a lot of moire, and it just doesn't look very pleasing to me. Now, the last thing to mention here is the front-facing camera. Now, we're talking about a 5 ultra-pixel front-facing camera, and this one I actually like because low light's great. It takes decent selfies. You can do really good Google Hangout video calls, and it looks pretty darn good. I took a photo of myself. I look a little strange in this one, but it turned out to be a very good looking photo. So plus on the front-facing ultra-pixel camera, a minus on the camera, and a double minus on the 4K video. That's sort of my review of the camera found on the HTC One M9. I was really hoping that the HTC One M9 would have a much better camera, and I just can't say it does. I mean, the HTC One M8 and the HTC One M9 are basically still in the same class of photo quality and ability. It really hasn't changed, and it's very disappointing. So again, make sure to leave some comments below. As always, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. My name is Marco Hanna, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.